1 year after tense moments unfolded in the middle of a busy Tri-Cities intersection, we are seeing body camera footage of the fatal officer-involved shooting for the first time. Good evening, I'm Sarah Diamond. Josh Smith has the night off. Last March, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation was called to a hotel along Highway 11E in reference to possible drug activity. Jonesborough police said 26-year-old Mark Harold Jr. threatened them with a machete. The 4 officers involved in the shooting have since been cleared. Caroline Corrigan sat down with Jonesborough's police chief, who says months later, the incident still weighs heavily on his department.
I sat down with Jonesborough Police Chief Ron Street, who says this was a terrible incident for everyone involved, especially his officers who asked him multiple times to drop the machete. Chief Street now says Harold left them with no choice when he charged at one of the officers with the machete. And I do want to warn you, some of this footage may be hard to watch. For the first time, an officer's body camera shows us the seconds leading up to a fatal officer-involved shooting in Jonesborough. In this video obtained by News Channel 11, you can see an officer running towards the scene with a weapon.
One of the officers was cut by the knife on the back of the leg.
Jonesborough Police Chief Ron Street says the officer was carrying a beanbag gun.
If you look at the videos, when the officer got back up to where the situation is occurring at that time, then when she raised the weapon getting ready to fire the beanbag, he looked at her. He knew what it was, and because he had already made previous comments about the beanbag weapon, that's when he decided to charge the officer before they were able to deploy the beanbag. The officers were left with no choice in these situations, either fired upon with a weapon or personally attacked with a knife.
An incident caught on camera by people in the middle of this busy intersection. Some scrutinizing the officers on social media, wondering why the officers didn't use a taser. But Chief Street says at the time the department didn't have tasers. Plans were in the works, but the funding wasn't secured until this year.
We've purchased one for every officer here.
You think a taser would have made a difference?
Well, it could have not. It depends. Taser is something that has to hit right.
But in that moment, Chief Street says he stands by his officers.
Sometimes the officers are put in a position that you don't have a lot of time to think about these things. Instantaneously, you have to make a decision, and unfortunately, sometimes it does result in the death of the offender.
Now I'm told the department spent about $20,000 to make sure each officer was equipped with a taser this year.
Caroline, thanks. And Chief Street says his officers will receive tasers by the end of next month.